Hi, my name is Jamie and welcome to my cross stitching channel, and welcome back for anybody who's returning. Today is Sunday, February 20th, and this is Flosstube number 5. So today I will have a regular WIP update like I do every week. I worked on 5 projects this week, so pretty good stitchy week. And then I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. Sorry, I just have notes. So I did end up UFOing one project. If you don't know what that means, it means unfinished object. That just means I'm gonna put it aside and not work on it anymore. And then I'd like to talk a little bit about some possible new starts and yeah, just a couple other things at the end. So, but first we will get started with the WIPs because I'm sure that's what most of you want to see. So the first thing I worked on, as I mentioned at the end of my last video, I took my video game sampler, which looks like this. I took it with me to my boyfriend's parents' house when we went to watch the Super Bowl with them. So it's super easy, really easy to follow. It's just an all-around fun pattern. I don't need a lot of concentration on it, so that's what I took with me. So here we are from last time. And I really apologize about my lighting. I know that it's not always super consistent or the best. I am looking into getting like a ring light or something, but I am sorry if anybody's like, your lighting is crazy. So anyway, this is where I got from last time. Didn't do too much. I think all I did was just fill in this blue border here at the bottom, and then I put in these 2 words. So not too far in yet, but it is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to some other colors. There's like a pink ladder that starts up here, and then there's some like flowers like from Mario. There's like some flowers and pots down here and stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting to some new colors, but I like how it's turning out. So that is the first one that I worked on. So I switched it up from there and I decided to move to Beloved. I mentioned that in my last video too, that I hadn't worked on it in quite a while, and it's got the biggest goal for this year. I want to get to 31,000 stitches done, and I think that comes out to like 20% of the stitches done. So this is what that one looks like, or what it will look like when it's eventually done. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry, I'm a little out of practice apparently. This one, video game sampler by ScreamingHeartDesign. It is stitched on 18 count Ada. It's the color Barnwood from Picture This Plus. Totally forgot all that information. You probably saw it on the picture, but okay. So Beloved, Heaven and Earth Designs. The artist is Adele Sessler, and this one is stitched 28 count 2/110 stitch. So here's where we got from last time, and I am gonna hold it to the side a little bit. I know I have some outside of the frame, but it's gonna be hard to put this together in the frame if I don't move it. That is moved way over. There we go. So I filled in a lot more of his face. I completely filled in all this. His nose is completely done, which looks awesome, and I love it. And then I finished just this part between his nose and his upper lip. You can start seeing like the outline of his lips there. I was so tempted to just keep going on this one to get his mouth done. But this page has a lot left to go. I think it doesn't end till, I think this line here is the end of the page. So that's a lot of space still left to go. And I think I got just over 1,000 stitches, maybe 1,100 on this one. But I am in love with the detail on this one. It's crazy to me how you can use so few colors and it looks so cool. So I'm really happy with that. So that was the second one I worked on. And then third one I worked on, and I forgot the cover page again, so I will insert it here. This is the Winter Sampler. It's designed by Sandy Orton, and it was charted, I don't know if they're the same person, but it's by Kooler Design Studios. And I will link all of the websites to get any of these patterns that I'm showing. I do that every week. I don't know if people look at that or not, but they're there if you want to go and find them. So this one is the Winter Sampler. I'm sorry. With these light colored fabrics, and I have a black haired dog, I can see the hair all the time. So So this one is stitched on 18 count antique white Aida, and here we got, this is where we got to from last time. You guys, this piece is so much flippin' fun. I love it. So I had pretty much from like here over was already done, and then part of this red border and a couple stitches over here. So I filled in this border. I filled in all of the surrounding background down to the page break. There's a skier in this little diamond. So I filled in all of that. I filled in more of this village scene over here. And then I started up here and just went down. I got this, I think it's part of a tree. Got some snowshoes sitting there. And oh my goodness, with the dog hair. Ugh, it's so noticeable with the light colors. Then I started filling in this part. This has, I think it says like Winter Wonderland across right here. So you can kind of see the beginning of the W right there. But that, everything's going to be backstitched, so it's not going to look this way once I get that in. I'm really excited to start the backstitching. I want to get people's opinion because I heard that if you backstitch as you go, then it can just like, it can get messed up when you're going to other parts of the project. I mean, I backstitched at the very end on my last sampler, and that's what I did with my elephant piece that I showed in my first video too. So I don't know if that's true or not. I've never tried it this way before where you backstitch as you go. So if anybody could shed some light on that and tell me if like that's true, because if it is, then I won't backstitch until the end. But so I'm feeling a little concerned about it because I wanted to backstitch as I go because I get bogged down with it and then I don't want to work on a piece at the end when all of the stitching is done. So if anybody can help me out, maybe ease my mind a little bit, tell me if that's true, because I mean, I've seen other people do it and it doesn't seem to mess up their work to do it as they go. So I don't know. I'm just feeling a little uneasy about it and I don't want to ruin my projects, you know? So anyway, that's this one. I love that one. I'm still trying to get a page finish. And if I find that the backstitching is going to be an issue, then I won't worry. I won't worry about doing it till the end, and I'll just finish the pages with the stitching. So we'll see. So that was the third one. So the fourth one is Tarot Town 2. This is a Heaven and Earth design as well. It is by Ciro, Marchetti. And I am stitching this one on 25 count Magic Guide. I always forget those, like there's Easy Count and Magic Guide, and I try to mix them up all the time. So I'm doing this 25 count Magic Guide from DMC, and here is where we got to. Did a lot of work on this one. I think I only made it just over 1,000, but it's still, I filled in quite a bit. Got some more of these flags, or did I do two? Yeah, I did this flag and this flag just to get some different colors. I love the way the background looks. Like when you hold it back, it just blends so seamlessly together, and I love that. But when you're working on it, it gets tedious after a while. Lots of gray, lots of blue and purple. So I do have another hot air balloon coming in behind this flag. And then I think there's 2 more flags off of this rope. But other than that, it's like background. And then I think there's a little basket, another part of the basket hanging off of this. But when I get down to about here, there's like a wall coming off of the castle, which I'm really excited to get to. So I'm trying to kind of grind through on this one. I don't know if anybody has to like, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna get through this boring part and then I get to stitch the awesome part. I have actually contemplated on this one, instead of finishing down pages, since I have a percentage goal rather than a page goal. I mean, it would come out to about 3 pages, but I have a percentage goal instead because of Pattern Keeper. So I was considering maybe filling in a little bit more here and then moving this away, because then I could do, there's like, if you can see, there's like this big wheel. If you look at the mock-up page, there's a wheel and there's like big posts in the middle, and it goes down to the castle And I'd really, really like to work on the castle. So I don't know if I'll just kind of start moving this way just so I can work on something more interesting. Or I'll do what I normally do. Just fill in more of the background. So that is number 4. Tarot Town 2. I still love it though. Every time I get more of it done, I'm really happy with it. And I love that I picked Max Color. It's a pain sometimes, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So that is number 4. And then the last piece that I worked on is one that I'm trying to get a finish on this year. It is Pandemic, which is a long dog sampler. I'm sure everybody or most everybody has seen this one by now. So I am stitching this one on 28 count Helix Lugana by Picture This Plus, and I'm using DMC color 939. So here's where we got to from last time. I think I worked on this one last night and this morning. And I think I got about just shy of 600 stitches into it. So I think all I worked on, I brought this border down, I filled in this middle part here under the bird, and then I finished off this motif. It's all done. I love this little squirrel. It's like, I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, where like little animals pop up and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that was a thing until after you've already stitched it. I don't know, it's probably just because I'm not paying attention. I don't know. These ones are so easy though to just like, because you only use one color, so you just pick a spot and just go. So I love this motif, is like one of my favorite parts of this whole pattern. I love how it turned out. Almost got the page finish. So this bottom stitch here, that's the page finish right there. So I have a little bit on either side of this middle part, and then this page is done. So, and I'll just keep going down from there. I do want to get this one finished. I have been enabled. So I have been wanting to stitch Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog Samplers for a really long time. I'll insert a picture just so you know what I'm talking about, but I have wanted to stitch this one for such a long time. It's the first Long Dog sampler I ever saw, and the only reason I started this one first is because it was free and I had pretty much almost everything to start it immediately. So I went with this one, but I was watching, oh no, I don't remember her channel name. I know her name's Maxine. I'll link her channel below. She's awesome. She only has one video out so far, but I love her projects. I love Nightmare Before Christmas and she's crazy about it, and so that was really fun to see some of the stuff she's more working on. She likes spooky things and like Halloween stuff, but anyway. So I was watching her channel, her first video, and she had a project on a fabric called Monster Mash. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's like, it's a mottled green and purple and black. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I want to stitch Death by Cross Stitch on that and use either, I'm thinking probably like a dark purple would be really pretty. So I want to stitch that. But I'm trying really hard to get this one done first because I'm trying to do where, I guess I can segue into the last part of my video here. But I'm trying to determine how many projects I want, because I feel like I want to start more, but I also want to be able to make progress on all of them during the year. And I feel like if I get too many, some of them are just going to be sitting there not having anything done. So I think what I'm going to do, so I might have some starts coming in the next few months. We did just get our tax return, so I might treat myself a little bit off of that. So I want to start Death by Cross Stitch. I want to start, I've been really intrigued by Mirabilias lately. I watched Needleberry Stitcher. I'll link her channel as well. She's fantastic. She has so many cool things. She has a ton of kits and she has all of the Mirabilia patterns and stuff. And I was watching her videos where she shows all of her memorabilia collection, and I've been intrigued by those. So I do have one that I've had my eye on that I'm still looking through all of them, because I don't consider myself someone who would really want to stitch like a fancy lady like that, but I think they're beautiful. And there's like lavender and lace ladies that I've seen too that are really pretty. So I'm gonna try out a memorabilia maybe. Maybe. I'm feeling a little intimidated by it. So maybe not. We'll see. So Death by Cross Stitch, a memorabilia, and I've seen, so I have a giant piece of 32 count even weave. It's just white, and I've been going back and forth. I'm like, okay, do I get rid of it? Do I try to find something to stitch on it? I don't know what to stitch on it, because I don't want to do 32 count with full coverage anymore, because it's too difficult for me. And so I've seen it many times. Many stitchers have been doing it. It's the twisted band sampler, and I'll insert a picture of what it looks like. I love it, and I know there's a version for just cross stitch, and there's a version that has specialty stitches that seems really fun, and I want to try that. So I was like, maybe I could use my 32 count for that, because it's over 2. And I know that I restarted my sampler because I didn't want to do the over 2, but I think with that, the band sampler pattern, I think I'll like it better, because you have to do the specialty stitches. I mean, with this, it's just quarter stitches, and I don't mind piercing like the 8 stitches. So, but anyway, I digress. Sorry, I feel like I'm like, I don't know, kind of manic today, but anyway. So I'm looking at starting those. I also ended up doing a UFO, which is unfinished object again. So I decided to stop working on the Gardener's Paradise by Donna Gelsinger, which is a Heaven Earth design. I've already done a project, a big one for my mom, and I was just like, it was a pretty pattern. It really is a gorgeous pattern. It is. And I enjoyed working on it, but it wasn't for me. It's not, I don't know, it's not really my style. If you look at my other stuff, and someone commented that I have a really eclectic mix of things, which is true, but it's not something that I really like stitching. And so my full coverages just don't look anything like that. So I talked to my mom, and I was like, I'm not gonna do this one anymore. And so she was fine with that. And so I'm not working on that one anymore. So since I gave up a full coverage, I might pull in a new one because I'm obsessed. There's too many pretty patterns. There's too many. So I thought maybe I would pull in another one, because now I have a bunch of free floss and fabric. So I'm gonna go through the charts that I was looking at, and I kind of want input. I'm gonna ask my boyfriend as well, but I want to know which one you guys want to see, because I think it'd be fun to have one that most people are really excited about. So I'm going to show you the ones. I think there are 4 or 5 that I'm looking at starting. So here's the first one. This is Paris of My Dreams by Leonid Afremov, I think is his name. I love all of his paintings, but this one, it just jumped out at me. I'm pretty sure most people know where Farewell to Anger. That's another one of his. This is the first one that I'm looking at. I really love this one. So many bright colors. And I love like how it's got the Eiffel Tower and stuff in it. So that's the first one. Don't freeze on me. And then, of course, it's when I want it to load quickly is when it won't. So this is the second one. This is called Eden by Dakota Detweiler. I'm really drawn to things, if you couldn't tell, that have a lot of bright colors. Beloved is the only one that I ever wanted to stitch that's not like a bunch of bright colors. So this is the second one. I actually picked this one up when it was free too. I've just been in the right place at the right time. So that's the second one. The third one is a NASA image. And as you can see, these are all Heaven and Earth designs. So this is the Orion Nebula Max Colors. think it's beautiful. I could see myself hanging this one up. I could see me hanging up all of these. That's the third one. Really love that one. It's just so cool looking. I went through all the NASA images like 4 times before I picked out which one I wanted. And then the last one, nope, wrong. This is one I actually haven't seen anyone stitch, I don't think. I'm also a really big fan of Alexandra Bach. I have 2 from her that I really like. And this is a quick stitch, so it's a portion of the whole picture. So this is quick stitch Idealism by Alexandra Bach. I just love her dress. Look how pretty that is. And I got the one that was cut off. The rest of the picture's a little bit creepy. It's like a hooded figure in like a white like cloak or something. I don't know. It's a little bit creepy to me. Like I think the whole picture is beautiful, but I was like, I don't know how I feel about that one. So another one by her that I was looking at is Dawn of Victory. I love this one. She looks like such a badass. So I love the colors, and I feel like this one would go pretty quickly because the background is, I mean, it doesn't look like there's lots of variation, and then there's the flag. So really it's just her that would take like a lot of time and effort probably. From what I've seen I put this in Pattern Keeper just to see what it looked like, but so that's one I want to do too. And then the last one that I was considering, and probably everybody and their mother have seen this one. This is Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart. And I did go for the supersized max color because I'm a glutton for punishment. So every time I see someone working on this one, I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. So that's the last one. So I figured since I got rid of full coverage, I would pull in another one. What do you guys think? If you care, if you have an opinion, I'd love to hear it. I'm having a really hard time choosing because they're all so pretty and wonderful, and I love Heaven and Earth Design charts. I found them and there was no going back after that. So I'm looking at doing some new starts. Yep. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, and also the last thing I'll say before I will let you go, I think I just set off the Alexa. Sorry about that. So the last thing I'll say, so I am just blown away. Like when I started this video, I had almost 300 subscribers, which just blows my mind. I did not expect that many people to want to look at my projects and follow me on my cross-stitching stuff. So I would like to do a giveaway when I reach 500, because I have a bunch of stuff in my stash that it's not really my style, or it's stuff that I've gotten and I've decided I don't want to do it anymore. And I have some like fabric pieces that I'm never going to use because they're not big enough for anything that I would do. So, because as you can see, I like the really big projects. So keep your eyes out peeled for that. Keep an eye out for that. I will be doing a giveaway when I hit 500. If I hit 500. So yeah, if you stick around, I will be doing that when I hit 500 subscribers. And I think that's it for me today, guys. I went over my WIPs, the UFO, possible starts. Yeah, so that's my video for this week. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy and doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.